My spiritual journey started 2 years ago. I was a senior in high school and I met this guy who showed me a book called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. At the time of discovering this book, I was partying a lot. I was a senior in high school and I was really trying to fit this ego image. It was just all in my head. It was constructed by friends and what I saw on social media and what I read in books and what I saw on television. And it was really life-changing for me at the time and still is. I still love Eckhart Tolle. If you haven't read his books, I highly recommend you read them. For the first couple of months of getting into spirituality, I definitely wore it as a badge. I wasn't really actually immersed in it, how I am now, or that I'm working towards being, is different. And that's part of the reason I'm starting this. My journey has changed so much. I realized recently that it's been almost 2 years that I've been on this path now, and I don't stick to anything for that long. The positives aspects that I've gained from spirituality. I get angry a lot less quickly. Just defend my ego in any way that I could. To defend my image. An image of myself not only, but of the perspective that I had of everything around. If anyone challenged that, I was so fast to cuss them out and to get angry about that. That anger has subsided substantially. Through my readings, I found that anger is not the original emotion that someone has. Anger stems from sadness, lack of confidence. Anger is not a core emotion, as I understand it. It's a reaction to a deeper thing. Being able to understand my anger more, I've been able to not even deal with it, but just let it pass over. Empathy. I've become a much more empathetic person. Before my spirituality, I was a very apathetic person. Here, let me look up the exact definition. Being apathetic, showing or feeling no interest, enthusiasm, or concern. Yeah, I was very apathetic to anyone that was not me. I was this little crown jewel in my universe, and I still am, but the two can come in unity is the thing that not everyone tells you. Once I got out of high school, I quickly realized no one tells you, anything. I learned so much for myself just being out in the world and talking to different people and just being human. Being able to put myself in other people's shoes. And this also comes with another side of it though too, is being able to detach yourself from that. I can get so enwrapped in other people's emotions that I forget about my own and I completely immerse myself in them. Being able to detach yourself at the right times and being able to focus on yourself is very key. Calmer. A lot of people talk about becoming very calm, calm and passive aren't the same thing too. I care. I can become very strong with my emotions but still have a calm about me. I'm more fully understanding my baseline now of calming, and if there's this underlying sense of calm under everything I do everything better than if I'm angry or sad or jealous, what have you. My art, I'm a painter. I do oil paints, I do sculptures. I found this sculpture the other day at my parents' house. It's a whistle, it's kind of dusty, it's a squid. When you're taking classes, they really hone in skills, and skills are good to have for your art, but also really having a clear understanding of who you are in your art. My art changed a lot, and the way that I felt about my art changed a lot in really great ways with the art, and having this idea hatch in my mind, watching it become created instead of having this idea in my mind and needing it to look like the same thing. Outside of your art even, you have this idea of how your life is and who you are. It's good to have goals, loose ideas, but you're never going to get exactly what you want. A strong lesson I have learned. For a long time I wanted that perfection. It just doesn't exist. It can sound very dooming, but it's really very freeing to me. For me, being spiritual is a life choice. It's an around the clock job, but it's not a job. It's just my perspective and the way that I live my life. Mindfully. It's gonna have its highs and lows. It took me a while to see this, and I still get lost in the lows, but the highs and lows are there for reasons. I more and more see that the bad things, and I use the air quotes because my bad things are just like, they're never actually bad for me. There's people out there that are having really bad things happen to them. I'm not one of them. I'm having first world bad problems that end up changing my life for the better, and I improve on them. I improve on myself through the events. So there's the lows and there's the highs, and it's learning to not be attached to either of them, and to ride that calm line and know your base, while also realizing that things are going really well right now, and things are not going well in the way that I wanted them to, and it all cycles back to, you're never gonna have anything perfect. When I first got into my spirituality, and again, this even comes in bouts now, I would struggle with anyone that wasn't spiritual in the way that I am. It's an ego trap. No one's gonna be spiritual how I am because it's my own journey. You talk to these people, to any people, to learn. And to me, that is the human experience, is to learn as much as you can from anything and everything you do and everyone you talk to. So I try not to judge people for where they are. And I try not to judge myself for not being there. And, I was there at one point, and someday maybe I will be at this other point. Releasing judgment can be a struggle at times. Definitely. Practicing meditation. My boyfriend of this time right now, he got me more into meditation. Before meeting him, I had dabbled in it, but nowhere near as intense as I do now. For the past week, I've gotten into doing 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes at night. There are people out there who would be like, you only meditate for 20 minutes? But this is a big achievement for me. Sitting for 10 minutes is hard sometimes. And sometimes it's not. Practice being mindful. Practice meditation, which leads to an ease of being mindful through the practice of meditation. I constantly run into potholes and steps, and I fall. Every time I fall, I find it a little bit easier to pick myself up. It's really easy to get caught up in life. Eating badly, gossiping with people, getting messed up all the time. It's easy. I'm not here to take that easy road. I'm here to make a difference in my life, and through making a difference in my life, make a difference in everyone's life that I hopefully encounter. Being mindful of the way I'm talking to people and interacting with them. Being very intentional about what I do, what I say, and how I act, and the plans I make. That's all I want. That's not all I want. That's one thing I really want. Insecurities and vulnerabilities. They will pop up. My insecurities, vulnerabilities pop up in my own head sometimes. Sometimes they pop up in events that are happening or people. It eventually will all bubble to the surface. I am becoming mindful of what is going on. Why do I want to do this video? Why am I making this video? Why have I started this channel? My boyfriend asked me that today, actually, and I'm really glad he did. And I'm going to read a quote from this Thich Nhat Hanh book. It says, "Most people are afraid of suffering, but suffering is a kind of mud to help the lotus flower of happiness grow. There can be no lotus flower without the mud." A lot of people are feeling really sad right now, and there's a deep struggle and a disconnect in harmony. Spirituality has helped me in so many ways. If I can spread the information that I know, what I've gone through, and what I'm going through with other people, and they can learn from it, and we can expand our expansion, it's beautiful. And this platform of being on YouTube, people that come to see this video, they come to see this video because they want to learn about this. That is my hope. This platform gives me a community where I can talk to people just about this. And I feel like it's something I'm really missing in my practice. So I have a couple friends, which is, I don't know if you can call that a community really, if there's just 4 of you. is a really small community. I also wanna do this to have my own video journal of how I've progressed and how I've changed. Because it's been 2 years now and it's crazy. Time, it's relative. Thank you for watching. Yada yada. I'm rambling.